So, welcome to Podcast Recast, the podcast where we recast your favourite films. This is the first episode, so we figured we'd explain a little bit how the podcast is going to go. Ali, do you want to...
Absolutely, yeah. Each episode we take a movie that we know and love and we replace the cast in it as if it was being cast today.
That's right. And every episode we're allowed one time machine card, and what that does is it lets us take one actor and either take them back to their youthful days or age them a little bit, so we can play around with that a bit. I'm G-Man.
I'm Ali.
And we'll be your host for this show. So in honour of, The Force Awakens, Star Wars being, I think, I can speak for both of us here, being one of our favourite franchises of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love Episode 1, mate. Episode 1.
Now that is some filmmaking. Yes, true artistry. We figured we'd go back to the origins of Star Wars and recast the very first movie.
So this is us recasting Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, if it was being cast today.
20th Century Fox and George Lucas bring you an adventure unlike anything on your planet. Star Wars.
Stop that ship! Blast them!
Boom. Cool, right.
Right, so Ali,
Our characters that we're going to be recasting, by the way, we don't want to go into, like, Gunner number 5 or anything like that.
Porkins!
Right, we've got Luke, Chewy, Han, Leia, Obi, Vader, C-3PO, and R2-D2. All right. Do you want to? Should we go?
Who do you want to start with?
I think we should start with. Luke.
Luke Skywalker. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Who would you? Right. So
it's today.
It's 2015.
George Lucas has decided. Okay, yeah, I'm making Star Wars.
I've had it sat on my shelf for so long. It's time to go and cast it.
It's time to make this movie. So who do you cast as Luke Skywalker?
I cast. He was in Kingsman: The Secret Service. For Luke, I'm casting Taron Egerton.
So young blood.
Young blood, because he's got the. I think he's got some decent acting chops in him, but he could play that sort of youthful but hopefulness and that sort of itchy feet that he has a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel he can do that quite well.
That's interesting.
He's young and he's flexible. I think he would do.
Yes, indeed.
I think we would do quite a good job. And there's a slight bit of humour about him as well. But there is. I feel he could bring.
Yeah, I think he definitely gives a completely different quality to Luke that Mark Hamill portrayed. The original Mark Hamill was a bit whiny, wasn't it? It's like, but I was supposed to go to Tessie and get some power converters. Yeah,
sipping his blue milk.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, it could give a completely different vibe, a bit more of a kind of harder vibe. I think. No,
I feel Luke as well. Mark Hamill was a little old because.
Right. In episode 4.
Because I know everyone hates the prequels, but the Anakin there, he's much younger than Luke, and yet he goes to the dark side. Luke is much older, and he doesn't go to the dark side. So I feel that he was he seemed a little bit too old. But that's another thing I thought. I might even I'm not sure I'm doing a time machine yet, but that's who I'm casting as Luke.
Okay, so my Luke is time machine card, first one, straight up. I'm going for the time machine card. This isn't going to be a radical time machine card, but it's going to be a bit more of a subtle one. I'm taking Jared Leto as my Luke Skywalker, and I'm using the time machine to make him just a bit younger, take him into his mid-20s, and basically the reason I picked Jared Leto is that he has that kind of blue-eyed kind of, pearly eyes that just have that youthful, hopeful...
That sort of age.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a podcast, so the listeners can't see what you just pointed at. But yeah, yeah, that age where Jared Leto looking really fresh-faced. He's got a bit of that baby face about him, which I think you need to give Luke. He's this budding young farmer kid who aspires to more. But there's something about Jared Leto, and I think it's because he's playing the Joker in Suicide Squad, is he has a bit of a dark side to him, I think, and I'd like to see that portrayed in other Luke, something where he looks young and fresh faced, but has a bit of a dark side to him.
Did you not feel I wouldn't be surprised if I read in the news that he had bodies buried in his backyard or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised.
What, Luke Skywalker or
Jared Leto.
He's got a bit of that. Yeah, that's the thing. I think he looks, at first glance, he looks really like youthful and friendly, but I think he looks like he might be a bit of a dick.
Because you need to believe as well that Luke's going to go to the dark side, otherwise the whole thing doesn't work. So
Yeah.
you don't want him to, but you need to believe that he could.
That's the thing. So that's why my pick is Jared Leto.
That's a good pick.
Okay.
That's definitely a good pick.
Brilliant.
Right, should we move on to Chewie?
Let's move on to Chewie. I think if we do Luke, we've got to do Leia next.
Alright,
No?
let's do Leia next.
Leia, all right.
Right.
Oh, shall I go first this
Yeah.
time? All right, my Leia was straight up, and I didn't have to think much about this. It was just Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence is Leia. That's
Jennifer
a
Lawrence
good
is Leia.
shout.
Purely because actually...
It's a little obvious, but it's a good shout. Because
It is a bit obvious. It is, but do you know what? She's got... And she has that... you know, what's special about Leia is she's got this kind of intelligent... the way she holds herself. She's kind of got the intelligent and a bit of that arrogance and a bit of kind of like...
We're here to rescue you. Good job. That
Yeah. It's a bit irreverent.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Lawrence has definitely got that kind of tongue-in-cheek humor and a bit. She has this. You know, she plays characters that are actually much older than her age in
How
real
old
life.
was she when what's the name? Actually, did it?
21, wasn't it? Like 19 or 20 or something. She's
I'm Googling it.
super
I'm
young.
Googling it.
Really, really young. But I reckon she could carry that and take what Carrie Fisher brought to the role, but in a more contemporary vibe.
I think she was 19.
Like,
Okay,
yeah.
no, that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
And also she's not she's a little bit she's not chubby, but yeah, she's got round cheeks, and I loved that about Carrie Fisher in New Hope. Like
they sent her to a fat farm.
yeah, they did. They forced her to lose weight for
You've
the
got
movie.
the part if you lose weight.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I've gone a similar route actually. I think you'd appreciate this.
Go for it.
All right. I know she's going to be in another Star Wars film, so I'm casting Felicity Jones.
Yeah.
Right, she was absolutely great in that Stephen Hawking film. I forget the name of the film, but she was absolutely
Theory
brilliant
of
in that.
Everything.
Theory of Everything.
Yeah.
She was very, very good in that.
She's stunning, isn't she?
Stunning. I
Yeah.
think she's stunning. She's got that. I wouldn't be surprised if she's like related to someone in the royal family. She's got that slight sort of grace around, and
That is true.
That reflects
Ah.
around. Because I think
That's
Princess
so
Leia is a princess
She's
that
royalty.
little girls wanted to be, not because she's wearing a pretty dress, but because she was quite feisty and quite strong in a non-irritating way.
Yeah.
You have some women that are, this is a strong woman. No, it's not. It's just a woman being a bit of a cow. But with Princess Leia,
Yeah.
absolutely on the money. It was a strong woman
She was.
that
Yeah.
men respected and women wanted to be. And I think Felicity Jones. That's how a lot of people felt about Felicity Jones in
And she
Theory of
brings
Everything.
that elegance to the role as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know she's going to be in the Gareth Edwards Star Wars one.
Rogue One.
Rogue One or Rogue Squad, whatever it is.
Rogue
but,
One. Yeah.
I think she would. Yeah. And
I that gets my vote.
I think she would.
I think Felicity Jones. Okay, we go for Felicity Jones.
Felicity
then.
Jones. Oh, and obviously with I think Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Okay. So we've got Jared Leto, Felicity Jones. You know what? I think. You know what? Actually, they could play twins. That works really well.
They could play twins.
I think they've both got this glint in their eye. That youthful glint.
They could
And
definitely
they've
play
both got a bit of bitch face.
resting bitch face.
A little bit of bitch face. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so we got Luke Skywalker, we've got Princess Leia. You wanted to do Chewy.
I did. I got a great Chewy.
Okay,
Right.
go for Chewy.
Whenever you look at the behind the things of Chewy,
Yeah.
you look at Peter Mayhew. Do you not think he looks a little bit like Ozzy Osbourne? So for Chewy,
Han, where's the Millennium Falcon? Oh, I fucking lost it, mate.
I think, and also he could probably do the sound as well. Just, I think Ozzy Osbourne for Chewbacca is who I'm going for.
Okay.
I don't even need to have to justify that any further. But who did you have for Chewie?
Okay, brace yourself. Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, brilliant.
Vin Diesel, because he's clearly demonstrated chops for one-line characters. Okay, I am Groot. If he can pull off Groot, I think he can pull off the Growl, and he's got the stature for it. It'd be a bit of a stockier Chewie.
It will be a bit of a stockier
But
Chewie.
that's always irritated me about Chewie, actually.
Have you seen the
It's
pictures
like-
of Vin Diesel in The Last Witch Hunter? He looks a bit hairy in that.
Yeah. Yeah, so he might not even need the costume.
Yeah.
But Chewie's always been a bit thin, so Peter Mayhew's a massive guy. He's super tall, but he's quite thin. I've seen him in person, and he's really, really thin. And that always bugged me about Chewie, because Wookiees were supposed to be these things that'll tear your arms off, off the socket. And I just looked at him, and he didn't look like he had that kind of power.
He seemed like that sort of teddy bear-y thing.
Yeah.
And you need that.
I want to see a kind of
Ozzy Osbourne bites the heads off bats. I think you could believe that he would.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so who we go? Okay, I'll go for Ozzy Osbourne just because that's completely off the wall. And if we had to sell the movie, I reckon just the name Ozzy Osbourne as Chewie would sell. Brilliant. Okay, so Chewie.
We done Chewie. Got to do Han next. Got to do Han.
Han. Okay.
Right. Actually, I just did Chewie, so you do. Right.
Okay, so I've got quite a few names up for Han. The first two I think are obvious choices, but only because I think they would do them really well.
I bet you're going to say Chris Pratt for one of them.
Yes. So Chris Pratt and controversial Chris Pine.
Chris Pine?
I know he played Captain Kirk, so this is a bit of a kind of a no-no area. But, look, JJ's directed Star Trek and Star Wars. Why can't we have,
Simon
lead
Pegg's in
cast?
both of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, isn't Simon Pegg just playing like some kind of random supporting cast member?
Yeah, but...
That's
right, speaking of which, did you hear apparently Daniel Craig is a stormtrooper in The Force Awakens? Because
everyone wants to be in that movie.
I hope that's true. I hope that's true. And I hope it is just...
In the credits, you'll see like Stormtrooper 5, Daniel Craig, James Bond. So, yeah, Chris Pine, I think... And Chris Pratt, but I think actually, to be honest, I think about Chris Pratt, yes, because he's kind of got that anti-hero vibe. He's proved he can do the kind of likable anti-hero kind of devil may care kind of attitude, and he's fun. He is the modern day kind of action hero. Yeah. He is kind of got that zeitgeist of the hero going about him. But Chris Pine, I think, has got a bit more of the irreverence of Han in him. A bit more of the I don't give a crap, and a bit more of the cockiness, a bit more of the attitude. Yeah. Chris Pine's a bit dorkier. He brings the kind of that dorky element to Han, whereas Chris Pine has got a bit of that Harrison Ford kind of arrogance.
See, the thing that I always feel you need about, nobody takes a punch like Harrison Ford.
No.
He absolutely takes a punch.
As in literally like the way he acts when he takes a punch.
Yeah.
In Indy, when he's taking punches like a hero in Indy, when he's fighting that huge German guy in Raiders.
I was thinking of the huge Indian guy in Temple of Doom. Every time that massive. Oh yeah,
the way he just whips his head back. It's brilliant. But my third person for Han Solo, and this is going to be this is very controversial. I want to cast Charlize Theron.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I'm not saying we have a lesbian relationship, but why not? And hey, it's space and it's thousands of years ago in a galaxy far, far away. Who knows? But maybe it's a question of them recasting all the roles. But I think Charlize, after seeing her in
obviously she was great in Snow White and the Huntsman. That's what she's known for.
Yes, her starring role.
And the way she runs away from stuff in Prometheus.
Ooh, on it. Look at those legs. No, I just think she's got attitude, and I think she's damn funny as well. And she's just an amazing actor. I just think. I'm on you with that. I think that'd be really interesting. I think that'd be quite a little bit off the wall, but I think that could work quite well. I think so.
I think she could play cocky really well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
No.
I was expecting you to say Nathan Fillion or someone like that. or
Nolan North.
Yeah.
The voice actor for the video games.
Well, I'll tell you who I put down. But I'm more on board with your Charlize Theron.
Okay.
I put down someone who can take a punch. He can play it cocky really well.
Okay.
I put down Josh Holloway, the guy that plays Sawyer from Lost.
Oh.
Because you know the guy I mean?
Yes, I do. Yeah. He hasn't. What's he done since?
He's done a load of adverts. He had 2 lines in one of the Mission Impossible films. But I thought I was going to maybe even little time machine him a bit because I think he's got a little old now. But I was going to put him. But you know what?
He's got the looks. He's got the look.
But I would have taken him off. I would have changed my vote to Charlie.
So are we going Charlize then?
I think Charlie. Is it Charlie or Charlize?
Is it Charlize?
I'd vote for her. I think she'd be damn good in it.
Do you know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it. A female Han Solo.
Sorry about that, all you haters out there, but haters gonna hate. Charlize, it is. Okay, so who do we have next?
Right, next we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ooh.
Right, I feel a goodie for this.
Okay, go for it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right, I've gone for a British actor, a damn good actor as well.
It does need to be someone with gravitas. A bit of a theatrical. They need that almost Shakespearean blood.
And yeah, it's I've gone for Hugh Laurie.
Ooh.
Off his work in things like House and Tomorrowland, I think he has got
Wow.
the chops to play it and play the character. That sort of, and you'd feel if he takes that House of, because in House, you don't really care for House, but you almost want him as your doctor because he will find a way. So if you had that sort of safety with him, I think he would be flipping great.
Would you age him or would you take him as he is? Isn't he still a bit young for?
No, I would actually. I think I might take him as he is. I was going to use my time machine a bit on Josh Holloway, but yeah, no, I would take it. I would take him as he is. This is
Actually, looking at him now.
Looking at him now.
If you're listening, if you have a computer near you, search for Hugh Laurie on the internet now, and on Google Images, the first few images you see, and it's actually.
I think he'd be great.
You know what? I like that one. I really like that. He's got the intensity.
Yeah.
He's got that wisdom, and it's all the wrinkles in his face. It has that story of Obi, the pain and the suffering he's gone through with Anakin. All of that. Yes.
I think it'll work.
Yeah, that tortured soul of it.
Yeah.
It would bring a different quality, I think, to the Obi we know from Alec Guinness, Sir Alec Guinness. I do apologise. That's I really like that one. I reckon we'll probably go for that. My Obi's Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart as Obi. That's a good shout though.
And bald and all.
A bald Obi.
A bald Obi. Also quite probably.
You've got the Shakespearean British stuff.
That's the thing, and also he did.
Me down.
I reckon he could pull those lines off so well.
Yeah. But then Hugh would absolutely nail that.
That's the thing is actually Patrick Stewart probably brings a very similar quality to Sir Alec Guinness to the role, and I think Hugh Laurie would bring something fresh, something that we've not seen before.
Apparently Patrick Stewart, a friend of mine saw him at, was it Waiting for Godot?
Yeah.
Apparently he was like mouthing Ian McKellen's words before then saying his own because he had to memorise it, which is not that great. I was surprised at that.
Oh, because they
oh man, you actually
they played each other's roles, didn't they?
Yeah, Patrick Stewart with a beard, I think could. Look at him with a moustache.
I reckon Hugh Laurie is an interesting cast. I think that's a more interesting option to go with. Okay.
Right, okay, so we've got Hugh Laurie.
We've got Hugh Laurie.
And of course he faces down against Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
And Darth Vader, we've got obviously somebody for the...
Well, yeah. So, we need to say... Darth Vader's a funny one, because we need to cast someone for the suit, and then we need to cast someone for the voice. Because that's obviously how it was done in the original movie. Was it David Prowse in the suit, and James L. Jones doing the voice.
Yeah.
If you've ever watched the making of Star Wars and you listen to David Prowse,
I've met David Prowse.
Yeah.
I was at a Comic-Con and we were filming, and basically for a friend of mine's podcast we tried to get him to say grab that gem. So anyway, I queued up just to go and sort of see him. I had to pay like 15 quid for an autograph, and he's got no money because he got given net points, and he's basically, apparently Lucas hates him. So we queued up, and he's a pretty big guy. I said, "Can you say grab that gem?" He said no. So then we went round to queue again. I said, "We've got to keep doing this until we get him to say grab that gem." So yeah, but he was pretty.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he did it in the end. Yeah, but I was a little scared because I didn't want to seem like I was taking the piss, but I was taking the piss.
And if you hear him in the suit and you hear it just sounds so dumb. It sounds so weird. He's got a bit of a high-pitched voice as well. It just makes Vader sound
He sounds like a hobbit.
Yeah. Like a guy with serious issues, inferiority complex. That's why he wears the black suit. Like, listen to me, I'm telling you, do what I say. This is my Death Star. I've got two for Vader. Okay, so in the suit, to be honest, it could be any generic tall person, but actually it has to be a physical actor, somebody who can really do the hand and the movement and the body language. I want to say maybe give Chris Hemsworth a shot. You know.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, just because he's big and he's done physical stuff for Thor. You know, he's a physical actor. And I'd like, although I doubt he'd ever go for the role, like where you could never see his face. But
it's Star Wars. I mean, if Daniel Craig would be a stormtrooper, then I'm sure Chris Hemsworth would absolutely die to be Darth Vader.
For the voice, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
No, I'm joking. But how amazing would
That
it
would
be?
be.
Though? I'm joking, but it's like, Luke, I'm your father. What's the problem? You know, hey. But I think that would be hilarious.
The voice of James Earl Jones is...
You can. I mean, it's almost a crime to recast that voice, isn't it?
Well, I tell you who I've gone for the voice.
Okay.
I've gone for the voice for a specific reason.
Okay.
My wife used to work in Selfridges, like doing perfume stuff, like selling the perfume.
Okay.
Of course, you get a load of celebrities there. Long story short, we had a little bit of confusion about whether or not it was James Earl Jones that she was serving, or whether it was Trevor McDonald. So... So I've gone for the voice. I think you would do good. It's a little bit out there. I've gone for Trevor McDonald, the newsreader, to do the voice. I think he'd be pretty good.
Yeah. This made me think. What about? What's the guy who? What's the guy who does Gimli's voice?
John Rhys-Davies.
Yes.
Oh.
How about him?
He's got a damn good voice. Indy. I can't do impressions.
Indy. Except you'd be a bit less like this and a bit more like this.
Oh, I could.
He could. I reckon he could. It's got the power.
I'm feeling that actually.
Yeah.
I like that because that's what off the cuff.
It's a different quality, but it's still got power.
My person, the suit that I went for.
Go for it.
I went for Ray Park because
Oh.
I know it's another Star Wars guy, Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, of
and
course.
Toad, of course.
Just because of the physicality.
And he would give a different level of physicality, and I think him against Hugh Laurie would be quite interesting.
Do you know what? That would be really exciting because there's always that thing that always gets me about the way Vader is done. Although it is justified. I mean, he's kind of half robot at this point in the movie, but he's really stiff.
Do you not think the first lightsaber fight in I love Star Wars, but my God, that's a crap fight with a lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean,
it's theatrical. What's at stake is great, but that's...
The emotion is there, and a fight's only as good as the stakes.
Yeah.
Right? But I'll admit the choreography leaves a little bit to be
It's
desired.
dated, that's why I want...
Actually, Ray Park would bring... Imagine the physicality he could bring to Vader. Imagine a Vader who wasn't
it would be
kind of
aggressive.
bound to
It
kind
would
of
be very aggressive.
mini side steps and little twirly whirlies. That could be amazing.
And with Hugh Laurie being a bit old, I think that he would be much more on defensive.
Hugh Laurie is much more physical at this age now than Alec Guinness was at the time of recording that. So I think that's really interesting. Yeah, I would definitely
and
go for
John
that.
is the voice.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Right.
Brilliant.
Let's go on to C-3PO because of course that's the main cast, but you need the robots. Right. Who are you going for C-3PO?
It's a bit weird.
All
It
right.
kind of I don't know how we'd do it. But I want Peter Dinklage as C-3PO.
Peter Dinklage as C-3PO. Oh, that's a good shout. That's a good
I
shout.
don't know how we do it. It would maybe have to have a kind of a really short C-3PO.
You have to redesign C-3PO.
Yeah.
No, you have a really short C-3PO.
And
and
really
a
tall
massive-
R2.
That would work. That would be quite cool. I like that, especially when he's in his Tyrion Lannister mode.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking Tyrion Lannister meets robot voice kind of thing, and a bit more a bit less of a panicky kind of neurotic Woody Allen style C-3PO, more of a bit of a take the piss kind of C-3PO, a bit more of a sarcastic C-3PO.
That would.
Because there are moments where C-3PO is a bit sarcastic, and
That's
bringing that a bit
that's
more.
what you need in it. Because actually, I'm edging towards that, but mine's sort of in the same tone apart from the height sort of thing. Paul Bettany, so I was going for. Because obviously when he's playing Jarvis in Iron Man, there is that slight element of obviously being a butler, and there is a slight Mickey take a bit.
Yeah, and didn't he play also the Vision?
Yeah, he's the Vision as well.
I like that.
And he plays that tennis guy as well.
In Match Point, because that's relevant. Yeah.
We're the first films to think of. Like.
That's really interesting. I think that makes sense.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
But I think Dinklage is much more of a risky choice, but I think it could work
Do
really
you know
well.
what? I think he would just add more fun to the role.
You'd have to redesign the whole character, but I think that would work really well.
Brilliant. Okay, so are we going for Dinklage then?
I think go for Dinklage.
So does that cover everyone?
Yeah. So in our recast,
recap.
right. So to recap, with Luke, we've gone for using a time machine.
Time machine. A younger Jared Leto.
For Leia, we've gone for the gorgeous Felicity Jones.
We have stunning.
For Han, a little bit out there.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
We're not going into the implications of the lesbian relationship that would hapen.
It's more for the tone.
It's more for the tone and the kind of different thing, the different quality it would bring.
For Chewy, we've gone for Ozzy Osbourne, which I love.
Ozzy Osbourne, yeah.
I love that. For Obi, we've gone for
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie,
definitely.
As Obi-Wan, as Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, a bit more of that tortured soul kind of vibe going on. Yeah.
Vader, we've got Ray Park doing the movement.
Yeah.
And then we've gone and got John Rhys Davis as the voice.
Brilliant. There's only one thing I've just realised about that is Ray Park is extremely short.
He's not that short.
He's pretty short.
He's also another person I got to say grab that gem. He's not that short at all.
Really?
I didn't think so. He wouldn't give me a kiss on the cheek when I asked, but he was. I've got his autograph as well. That was cool meeting him.
Okay.
And then C-3PO.
Peter Dinklage.
But of course our answers are completely wrong because the correct answer to every single one of these.
Well, yeah, there's only one real answer, is there? And
Yeah.
it has to be Andy Serkis in a motion capture suit.
Playing every single character. Correct answer for every possible
Correct
role.
answer. That's the only correct answer available.
Just do a little clap. Cool. Thanks for listening, guys. This was our first episode of podcast Recast.
Yeah, we hope to do one of these every week.
Every week. If you have any suggestions for any movies that it may be, then do send them in, and you will find in the description a link to our iPage, who are our sponsors. This is costing us money to host and everything, so just click on it and just keep clicking, and then keep buying web space from iPage. Don't stop, right? Literally into the point where there's no more web space available. That's the goal.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Do you think anyone will ever do that?
Yeah. If they did, they would be the best people in the world. That's just good people.
So I've been Ali Patterson here.
And G-Man.
Thank you for listening.
Podcast Recast.
Boom.